Good day, good day. Welcome to Reading Reddit. And right now we have three stories. Episode is about sisters. Our very first story is Am I the asshole for stealing the guy my sister likes? And it has an update. Okay, so this is what's going on in my oh so lovely life. I, 24 female, recently started dating my childhood friend Mark, 26 male. We've been dating for about 4 months now, but only recently told our families about our relationship. Amy, Mark's mother, and my mom have been childhood friends and have remained very close. Due to their close friendship, me and my siblings also became close to Mark and his twin sister when we moved close to them when I was 8. My sister Mia, 26 female, was always closer to Jess, Mark's twin sister, growing up. They ended up having a lot more in common while me and Mark bonded over our shared passion of Mario Kart and books. Not to brag, but I'm better than he is at Rainbow Road. While he when he got to high school, things did change a bit and we weren't constantly hanging out with each other since we were in different schools, but we still went to see the movies occasionally, or if the fair was in town, I'd join him and his high school friends. Mia and Jess would sometimes join us, but they weren't all that interested in most of the things we did. Like a few times we went camping. Both of them went with us once and never joined us again, deciding it wasn't for them, which is perfectly fine. Camping isn't for everyone. When Mark turned 18, he decided he wanted to join the Coast Guard. We wrote, called, and messaged each other constantly while he was serving. He just finished his 8-year contract and is thinking about going another 4 years. When he came back, he invited me to check out a new bakery that his mom had mentioned to him. I have a huge sweet tooth and couldn't say no to spending time with him or miss the chance to stuff my face with pastries. So of course, I said yes. As I'm stuffing my face with said pastry, he blurts out that he likes me and wanted to know if I was interested in a relationship with him. I said yes after choking on my pastry and him apologizing for not waiting for me to swallow first. Anyway, here's where it gets interesting. Amy had invited me and my family for a Sunday dinner at her house, and me and Mark both decided that it was the perfect time to announce our relationship to our families since everyone would be in one place. We did it after everyone was done eating but still at the table talking. My mom and Amy were thrilled by the news. Amy gave me a big hug and asked when it started before saying she was happy for us. Later on, Mia cornered me in the kitchen when I went to get a drink. She started berating me for taking the guy she liked. I was incredibly confused because she never mentioned liking anyone to me, let alone Mark. I didn't even know she even talked to him. I told her this, but she was adamant that I knew and I did it on purpose. Gaslight much? We ended up getting into a heated argument and she stormed out. After she stormed out, my mom asked what happened, and when I told her, she asked if I knew Mia liked Mark. I said no, and my mom said she didn't either. I asked Jess if she knew since she's Mia's best friend, and Jess said she had no clue, and Mark was confused because he hadn't really talked to her since he left for the Coast Guard. He said she sent some holiday texts like Happy New Year's and Christmas, but that's it. Mia is now refusing to talk to me, and a few of our mutuals say that I'm the asshole for not knowing when I'm her sister. I don't think I'm the asshole, but now I'm wondering if I might be. So am I the asshole? She didn't know You know what? She didn't even know she liked him until y'all announced your relationship. Let's just say that. She's jealous. Alright, so here, let's take a look at a few comments here. First comment is, let Mark out of the basement, Brenda. Just kidding, that would be stealing. What you did isn't. He isn't an action figure. He's a person, not the asshole. Not the asshole. She didn't call dibs and she had over a decade to do so, even if she wasn't going to make a move herself on him. Now, whether or not dibs is valid is another discussion, but you have to at least indicate interest. How is anyone to know? And the last comment before we move to the update is, if your sister has said that she liked him, it would give her cause to be salty about it. She didn't say anything. You and Mark have had a close friendship for many years, which didn't include either of your sisters, and it was kind of a natural progression, not the asshole. Later the same day, OP returned with an update. Oh my god, I just want to strangle my sister. If it were legal, I definitely would. My mom just called me sobbing about how Mia is now refusing to talk to her or our stepfather and is no longer coming to our younger brother's birthday party because she feels betrayed that they're siding with me. I'm incredibly pissed off at her at the moment, but here's what my mother said happened. Had called to ask about our younger brother Mike's birthday party next weekend. He's turning 11 and is super excited for his birthday party because my parents and I told him if he got at least a B average for a whole year, we'd take him and 5 of his closest friends to Dave and Buster's for his birthday. Needless to say, he kept his end of the deal, so we're keeping our end. Apparently, Mia was wondering if me and Mark would be there as well, which is a stupid question, seeing as I'm helping him pay for it, and Mike adores Mark. Yes, she already knows this. Our mom said yes, of course we would be there. Mia then began pleading with her to ask me to stay home because she doesn't feel comfortable being around me because she still felt betrayed or whatever. Our mom said no. She wouldn't be asking me to stay home because not only did I help pay for the party, but this is Mike's party and he wanted both of us to be there. Mia then apparently began screaming at her over the phone for choosing me over her, even though I hurt her and she felt betrayed. Our stepfather tried to intervene because our mother had started crying, but Mia just began screaming at him before saying she was no longer coming to the party and hanging up. Mia is now refusing to answer either of them. Am I the asshole? Can you imagine? Okay, so first comment. Can you imagine being in OP's shoes and just sort of having to deal with that lunacy? What do you even do? I mean, I know everyone told her to not let it get her down, but how could you not? It's your sister. You've been together for over 2 decades of life. Yeah, she's a nut, and OP shouldn't let it affect her relationship with Mark, but at the same time, she will have to deal with this one way or another, or the other, even if it's time to get Mia some therapy. And the best case scenario is that she gets over it, but they'll all remember this nonsense. You just can't forget something like this. Good grief, the ball's on Mia for assuming her sister is psychic and should have just known. Throwing a temper tantrum over a birthday party she isn't paying for? Get out of here. And then here is our next story, which is dealing with still keeping along with our sister thing, but I'm going to go ahead and here we go. Am I the asshole for wanting to see a therapist after wife changed the locks because I went to a baby shower? My wife and I are both 30. We tried to have our first baby for 4 failed cycles, 4 months, I believe, menstrual cycles, he's saying, and decided to take a break for a few cycles because we were taking it pretty hard. It's been 3 months since we tried. Meanwhile, my little sister is pregnant with her first baby, and I'm very excited for it. My wife was too at first. So now he mentioned slides here, so I'm just going to go ahead and so the first slide is he RSVP no the wife RSVP no without talking to him first. After talking that night, she said I could go and seemed very supportive. She said she was just in her feelings. Slide 2 is the week of the shower. We had therapy the next day, after which wife was once again supportive of me going. Other than saying she'd miss me. I went up a day early to spend more time with family. Nothing seemed off. Third was the bomb drop I got during the shower. Fourth slide, I still don't know what in the world happened, but she changed the locks to our house. We had a big argument when she came back to let me in, and she insisted this was worse than me cheating on her. So let's go into the slides. I have them up on YouTube. All right. Are we busy the 24th? Something I forgot? I don't think so. Why? Baby shower. They said you RSVP. We couldn't make it. Oh, yeah, I don't want to go. Not feeling up to baby things. Oh, I understand. It stings. I'd like to go, though. Support my sister for her first baby. I can go on our behalf. It'd hurt my feelings if you went without me, though. She has everything she needs. I need you. Let's talk about this when I get home. I've been thinking about it, and I don't think it's fair of you to go. I'm still grieving. Even if you're not. Going to this is like twisting the knife. You're twisting the knife. Listen, I'm sorry, Dovely. I'm still torn up too, but I can't wait to raise kids with you. but we've both always wanted to be an aunt and uncle, and now we get to be. I want to share a little joy while things are tough. You literally choosing another pregnant woman over me? You can't understand how hurtful this is? My sister. Let's table this until I get home or maybe after therapy tomorrow. Love you. Would it would it help if we started trying again? I mean, I feel like not trying, is it? We both were happier when we were. No. What kind of man can't stay by his woman's side when her world is crashing down? It's making me sick. You're off celebrating when I'm the lowest I've ever been. This is like emotional cheating almost. You're going to have to make up for this betrayal for a while because I am hurting thanks to you. Dovely, I love you. I know you want our family to grow. I do too. And I understand the heartbreak. It's kind of hurting my heart to be here too, but I'm also having some gladness which we haven't gotten to have for a bit. This is partly for me, but also for my sister and our future nephew. Remember, we want to be his favorite aunt and uncle. Emoji. We need to talk about this more in therapy. Can't keep brushing it off. Grief is supposed to change over time, and I don't think it's changing for you after months. Probably won't change until you give me a baby. Okay, call you on the way home. Get yourself some curry, DoorDash credit. Ring ring, headed back. Are you at your mom's? Yes, we're at dinner. Pick up. Now. I need to know why I'm locked out. Head home or I'm kicking in the back door. I already told you betrayed me. You don't get to just come home willy-nilly like nothing happened. Your bag is already packed to go stay at a hotel for the night or something. What the fuck? I love you, but what the actual fuck? Come here now or you're going to the damn doctor tomorrow. You know what? Okay. It's been almost a week since then. We've been to therapy again, saw her doctor. Neither of them seem too concerned because she's acting normal now and she wants to try to conceive again. I told her I scheduled a first session with my own therapist because I'm hurt and don't want to talk to her, much less try for a baby until I work through this myself. She said I'm overreacting because she made it right immediately by coming home and letting me in the house and hasn't brought up how she feels about the shower since that night, except in therapy. Am I the asshole? Okay, so first of all, this is my thought. What the actual fuck? She decided that it was okay to lock you out of your apartment. She took deliberate action to change the locks, get the manual, call the locksmith, get different keys, while the drive was 2 hours away, mind you. So she had all this time. She called the locksmith and to lock you out of your house because she thinks it's emotional cheating to be there for your sister because she's having a nephew. Are you supposed to avoid your nephew because she can't have kids? Don't have kids with her, OP. Do not do this. She is someone who will be even worse to your child. The moment that kid does something that she doesn't like, she will do the very same thing. Do not. This is divorce territory, honestly. If my husband locked me out of the house, we're done. No, you do not lock me out of my house. You do not lock me out of my bedroom. And if you think you're gonna, yeah, that's what we're not gonna do. All right, so here's what readers had to say in response to the post. So you guys tried to conceive for 4 months, took a break for 3, and then she locked you out of the house for not skipping a super special moment with your own sister. After you guys talked about it a bunch, and she gave her approval, by the way. Unless there's more to the story, there isn't. You are not overreacting, and I would want to understand from her therapist and doctor why they aren't concerned with such erratic behavior. This isn't to say there can't be some explanation or that you shouldn't give her time to work through her feelings, but if she's coming out of this with the sense that she didn't do anything wrong here, that feels like the wrong takeaway. Support, validation, and respect are two-way streets, and in those text exchanges, I really only see one of you trying to understand and support the other one. OP responds to that saying, appreciate this because no one else seeing anything wrong here makes me feel insane. Her mother called her on it a little bit, but the doctor and therapist said they'd be concerned if she locked me out and kept me locked out. Since she came right home and let me in, it was a momentary lapse of judgment. Yeah, bullshit. That was deliberate. There was no momentary lapse of judgment when you're actually. That was planned. That was deliberate. She was planning that even though she told you you could go. All right, and then we have two more comments. One more comment where OP describes the where OP responds, and that will be our last comment before we move on. Only 4 months. We tried for years, years. Have one child. Tried for more, but it's unlikely it'll happen for us anyway, or anymore. Anyway, I never skipped my sister's baby shower because I'd been trying to conceive and it wasn't happening. I was honestly expecting this to be about a very recent miscarriage. But even then, I don't know. I still went to work after mine. I didn't feel much choice in the matter. However, that said, I was expecting this to be a too bad it was a week ago and she wants us there when she really probably understand. Anyway, I guess her feelings are valid for not wanting to go, but to prevent you, I think, is wrong. And locking you out is too. I hope you documented it and filed a report. It could be the beginning of a pattern of abuse. And then OP responds, I'm glad you have your child. I thought we were both prepared for it to take some time. We're usually patient. I admit each menstrual cycle gets harder, but I had no idea she was taking it this hard until we decided to pause. So, again, okay. So we're moving into, am I the asshole for telling my sister her boundary will destroy her relationship with her nephew? I, 30 female, recently got married and had a baby. My sister, 24, does not like my husband and will not tell me why. When I first brought him home to introduce him to everyone, she was a bit standoffish, but in general doesn't really like people, very few friends, never brings anyone home to meet the family, and has never spent time with anyone I brought home. Before my husband and I got married, I asked her if she had any issues with him. She said no, and that he seemed nice. I asked her to be my maid of honor and thought all was well. Fast forward to last week, my husband goes to drop off something at the family home, sister lives with my parents, and come back looking shaken. I asked him what happened, and he said he knocked and went into the kitchen, and my sister told him my parents weren't home. He then tried to give her the stuff I had and asked him to drop off, and she told him to put it in the garage. It was food, even though they were in the kitchen. He said as he was packing the stuff back to go, he tried to make small talk, commenting about the weather, and she snapped at him, saying, "Don't fucking talk to me," and stormed out of the room. My husband has never given me reason to worry about him being inappropriate or anything, but that was where my mind went first. We live near them and have been gone. He had been gone for less than 5 minutes. I called my sister to ask what happened and she hung up on me. Messaged her and she ignored me until the morning when I bombarded her phone with messages because I wanted to resolve whatever was going on. I'm calling it. She's jealous. She's jealous. She lives at home with her parents. She doesn't have friends because she's frankly a prick. And she's mad that you have the husband that she thinks that she should have. Maybe she shouldn't be such a prick. I mean, come on. That's like right where my mind is going. She finally replied and basically said she hates him, has always hated him, and her only boundary is that he never talks to her. In the 7 years we've been together, they've spoken maybe 5 times, and that was mostly greeting her. I asked her why, and she said she doesn't need a reason. She just doesn't like him and just doesn't want him around. I asked her point blank if he had done or said anything to make her feel like that, and she says he didn't do anything. That she doesn't need a real reason to feel the way she does. Yeah, because she's a miserable prick. She's a miserable prick, that's all. Now, my family is very close. My other sibling, brother 29, and I sometimes drop by unannounced to help mom cook dinner or just hang out. My parents encourage this as they say they like having us around. I told her it's going to be weird if he can't even just greet her when we come over. She said she was sick of me having a stranger in her home. I told her I didn't realize she felt that way about him and said I wouldn't ask him to drop off stuff without me being around anymore. Mind you, she's had 7 years to get to know him, and I didn't realize she considered him a stranger. She then said that was not the point, that she didn't want him talking to her at all, and that was the boundary she respected. This prick is weaponizing therapy. Weaponizing therapy. she's a miserable prick. I don't like her. And I'm surprised. Why am I surprised that she's in her 20s and single and still living with her parents? I told her that I would tell him and try to keep them apart, but that would mean her time with my son, her nephew, 6 months, would be affected because my husband will not be comfortable with our son being around someone who hates him. Frankly, I'm now uncomfortable too with it because I don't know what ideas she will try to put in his head. It's also going to affect my parents' time with him because if my husband can't bring him around, it's going to affect the amount of time he goes over there. I didn't tell her that, but it hurts my heart because they absolutely adore my son. He's their first and only grandchild so far, and they love spending time with him, always telling us to bring him over. She said I was playing the victim. Oh, God, this prick. She's such a prick. I don't like her. Yeah, yeah. She's weaponizing therapy here. Like I don't I can't imagine why she's single and 27 and living with her parents, or however old she is. She says I'm playing the victim, painting her as a B word and trying to trample the only boundary that she has set for herself. I'm currently thoroughly lost and trying to figure out the best way forward. Am I the asshole here, and is there a way I can fix the situation? No, she's just a jealous prick. There is no way to fix it. She's just horrible. Edit, I never expected so many replies in such a short time, but I appreciate the responses. To clarify a few things and answer some questions, I've mentioned this to my parents. They are aware of what happened. My mom says she'll sit my sister down for a conversation, but from what I hear, my sister keeps making reasons to avoid it, like being busy, tired, wanting more time, etc. My dad said not to worry about it and it will blow over. My dad had a heart attack recently and is currently recovering, so I don't want to push it with them right now and stress him out, so I left it at that with him and changed the subject. My partner is amazing and has never given me reason to worry about him being around any females. I don't like when they say females, that's crazy. I admit I was worried he had done something when he told me how she responded because I can't wrap my brain around why she would blow up over just small talk, but she herself said he didn't do anything. I know my brother has had partners, but he hasn't brought any home. I didn't I myself didn't bring anyone home until I was serious about them and thought there might be a future. Brought home a grand total of two guys, current partner, and my ex from college. Regarding her mental health, she has always had a bad temper, has snapped at me many times with no apology, even when she realized later she was wrong. And for example, accused me of taking her shoes, which she had actually just left in the vehicle. There has never been anything on this level before. Alright, here we go with our final comments on the subject. Oh, actually, there's an update. Thank you. This isn't a boundary but a control tactic. She is trying to undermine OP's relationship and cast aspersions. Unless there's something OP isn't telling us. Not the asshole. Sister is behaving really weirdly and comes across as bitter and divisive. Update. I'm blown away by the number of responses. I've been trying to read them all, but replying to all is a bit difficult due to the volume. I appreciate all responses, though. It gives me perspective. To clarify, the only reason I consider my husband might have done something is because I'm in healthcare in an environment where all sides of all stories have to be looked at. My first instinct was that she was being out of line for no reason, but I always try to look at both sides and was trying to figure out why she said what she said. Both he and her said that he didn't do anything, and I'm going with that. Growing up, my brother was the golden child. Dad only wanted a son and kept talking about his son and his legacy. My dad has evolved over the years. He doesn't do that anymore and makes all his children a priority now. My dad, when I was 10, is a different man from the one I have now. And my sister was my mom's favorite. She always would say that to us. I never wanted to be the calm princess my mom wanted. I wanted to make my dad happy and be as boy-like as possible and refuse to wear dresses, etc. She wanted me to. That relationship has also evolved. My mom and I are on much better terms now than when I was a kid. I was the oddball and my siblings weren't close until everyone was past 14 or 15. Then we started finding shared interests, etc. My husband was beyond happy to marry into my family. My parents treat him like their own son and has said many times they feel more like family than his own family. He has three brothers, but he's the youngest by 10 years and felt left out a lot. He once told me he was excited to have a sister-in-law and he has none of his own and isn't close with his brothers. So the whole thing has him down, and I feel horrible for even considering he had done anything inappropriate when I know deep down he hadn't. I was just trying to figure out what was going on. My sister told my dad she will sit down and talk with us this afternoon. When I get off work, waiting to hear what she says in his presence, we'll update after that. Perhaps so one comment before we get to the next update. So perhaps your dad's favoritism for his son and now total enthusiasm about your husband as a son-in-law has something to do with this. I could see your sister being very upset that your father prefers his son-in-law, and son to the female children that are biologically his. If that's the case, she's displacing justified anger at your father onto your husband. All right, now here's the final update so far. Update 2. Spoke with my dad and sister a couple of hours ago. Basically, my dad asked both of us what happened. I gave my side and she gave her side. My dad asked her if she was sure she had no reason to do that. She said she had a reason but didn't want to say. My dad said, that's that. We won't force anyone to share anything. She then says, okay, she'll tell us why. She said when she first met my husband, he asked her about a guy. Let's call him Mr. Lake. She said he asked her about how Mr. Lake was doing, and then she turns and goes, yeah, I knew you read my diary. The guy I had a crush on and wrote my private thoughts about. The first day your husband met me, he asked me and told me everything I needed to know about him. That's bullshit. I'm still flabbergasted that she would say that because, first of all, I didn't know she had a diary, and even if I did, I know I never would have read it. I had a journal once and my cousin read it, teased me mercilessly, and I would never wish that upon someone else. I was surprised at first, and then I got pissed because I realized she was making stuff up at this point. She met my husband 6 years ago. We had been dating a year before I introduced him to the family. 2 years ago, my sister went abroad for a year, college-related. A friend of mine who started school late was in the same program as her and was on the trip. I recognized the name as the hot professor my friend came back gushing about. I asked my sister if that was the professor that worked at the university, and she went, yes, you see, is that your confession? I asked how my husband asked her 6 years ago about someone she only met 2 years ago. She stopped talking for a good minute, like her brain was buffering, then she snapped at me that I just didn't understand how hard it was for her to keep a stranger in her home and stormed off. This is not your home, it's your parents' home. Kick her ass out. My son is going to grow up without getting to know the only auntie that he has, and I cannot fix a situation that she is making up. Growing up, I was not an awesome sibling. There was petty arguments, stupid fights over stuff like the TV remote, what we had for dinner, but I thought we had a better relationship the last few years. We were sending each other memes, cracking jokes, taking trips together, dinners, lunches. She was my maid of honor at my wedding and visited me in the hospital every day I was there. Emergency C-section with complications. I was there for a week. And checked on me every day postpartum for the first couple of months. I'm still hoping this can somehow be fixed, but she's making up lies and unwilling to communicate. I don't see what I can do. Edit. I asked my husband about it. He doesn't remember asking her anything about any guy. He doesn't even recognize the name at all. My husband and sister never dated since so many people are asking. Yes, I know that for a fact. The areas he went to school and work are far from where we are, and the way that we were raised, we didn't go out much. Regarding mental health, I brought up her anger issues in the past, and she doesn't want to try any form of therapy or evaluation. She's a grown woman now, and as long as she isn't a direct threat to herself or exhibiting violence to others, it is completely her choice. Some Aussie prick, I love that one. I think we just might have to face that, yo sister cray cray. And that's all. Yeah, yo sister cray cray. So, oh my goodness, I didn't know how long this was because it was so, like all of the updates, and that last one was particularly interesting. But she wouldn't be in my house anymore if she's just hating somebody and doesn't have a valid reason to. The valid reason is she's miserable. There's no missing anything. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Your time with me means a lot. Thank you so much. And please shout out the channel. See you soon.